Welcome, everybody. It's time for another XP Network live stream. I'm Jason Horonsky. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm John Grams, president of Tabletop at XP Network, and Jason is on an important elite mission somewhere, which I can't tell you where he is. So here I am, hosting my first live stream. Welcome. We are here with Warlord Games. We're going to do an Adepticon overview for the convention that happened recently with some other news. I'm going to introduce Isaac here in a moment, but first of all, don't forget at the bottom of your screen, I don't know if you can see my hand, scan the QR code to get 500 XP Warlord points. And also, Pong of Champions is our kind of post-apocalyptic Pong throwing game that you can download for free on the Apple Store and Google Play. Link your accounts, get XP that way. So without further ado, I want to introduce Isaac Paul, who is account manager for North America for Warlord Games. How you doing?
Happy to be here. I'm pretty nervous, but let's do it. Yeah.
Indeed, yeah, we were both drafted at the last minute, so welcome everybody to this edition. So, Adepticon, the biggest tabletop war game miniature convention in North America for sure. I heard that you guys knocked it out of the park.
I mean, with Konflikt 47 this year, I think the booth was busy the entire time. We were getting feedback from customers that just couldn't talk to people they wanted to talk to because there were just so many people piled into that space. I mean, it was just nothing but positive feedback the entire time it was going on. That goes from, the tournaments and for our booth. I mean, we doubled our sales compared to last year. It was just absolutely phenomenal.
Did you... do you know what the attendance was of Adepticon this year?
Off the top of my head, it was, I think, 12,000 that paid for tickets, and that doesn't count the amount of free entries. So that a lot more than 12,000 is what I'm guessing. Yeah.
What I was impressed with was the turnout of some of your various tournaments. So talk about, we got Bolt Action, which has been your big game for a long time. So let's talk about that. What, how many tournaments did you run? What was the kind of the turnout?
So the Thursday tournament was the Combat Patrol. That's about 500 points, 9 order dice. So pretty quick games. That on its own was 52 players. And I think that was actually the highest Combat Patrol player count to date. So even success in the tournament attendance there. We had the Bolt Action Doubles, which is 2 players, which is probably my favorite format because I can blame the defeat 50% on somebody else.
Right, sure, yeah.
My poor calls in game. But that's that was also, I think, 44 teams, so 88 people for that one, for the doubles. And that was for sure the biggest doubles to date as well. So again, numbers were just outstanding this year for 2026.
And then your new game, Konflikt. Konflikt 47.
It was 21 players for the Saturday tournament. So definitely not as big as the Bolt Action one. And especially with Konflikt 47 having the new releases coming out more this year. In June, we have 6 more plastic releases. That's going to recruit more people. But Konflikt 47 was definitely also a show of force, and it definitely brought a lot of people into the booth. We sold a lot of those core sets. We were sold out of those core sets entirely pretty much by like day 2. So good problems to have.
For sure. That's really great. So one thing that I was really impressed with, and I think this is the biggest to date, I should say Warlord Games awarded over 1.2 million XP points to the players that showed up to participate, and that's phenomenal. That's obviously one thing that we're trying to do with with you guys is to reward the players for participating, showing up, which then ultimately nets them the ability to redeem for great swag and points. I do believe your store is up in the XP Network store as well.
Yeah, the XP Network store right now is just pretty bare bones. You got the intro sets, I think, for Bolt Action and for Konflikt 47. Both of those are like $68 MSRP. And then the PDF versions of the Bolt Action and Konflikt 47 rulebook as well are available in there. I know that's not what's going to be in there on its own. You know, a lot more is coming. I know plenty of discussions around having specific exclusive miniatures that typically you can't get anywhere else, which will be awesome. I'm really excited about that part. And it's a great opportunity right now for those XP users to start hoarding up that XP for when that store just pretty much explodes.
That's really great. I want to remind everybody that's watching that there will be a question and comment section here in a little while. And so feel free to feed those questions into the Discord, and we'll be happy to address anything you have to say. So you have some show and tell, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, with the new release, my sales method is I get incredibly excited myself because I play the games, and I hope that it's contagious enough that it makes sales happen. And so far it's been working over the last 2 years. So I mean, with this one, I'm an Axis player for Konflikt 47. So when the new book came out, I mean, that artwork is absolutely stunning. So Festung Europa, it's about the Allied rush to get to Dresden, where the Axis powers have their source of rift. But it's not really empty. It's kind of full of reanimated corpses under the control of the Axis, which, you know, with the new starter army that comes out and pretty much all plastic, it's like 45 zombies, reanimated corpses, the Totencore. I panned that up in a weekend, so that was a titan of a project.
Nice.
But I think the stars of the box are definitely the new plastic walkers, the Noxers, and then these guys. Pretty much what they'll do is they'll kill enemy units and turn them into more Totencore for the Horde. So, yeah, the box comes with 2 of them. But yeah, they're definitely my favorite unit from the box. I used them yesterday. They did some business, got destroyed by the Soviets, because I think the Soviets are the strongest faction in the game. But it was a fun army to run when you could just throw heaps of corpses towards the enemy.
Well, I think that's a great point. Could you tell us how many factions are in the game, and a little bit about their, I guess, their strengths versus their weaknesses in different against different factions?
Yeah, I mean, right now there's 5 core factions, and I know when they were developing it, they were starting out with, you know, 15 factions or whatever, with all the nations out there during World War II, so many belligerents. They got it down to 5 factions. So you have the US, you have the British Commonwealth, all united under the British Commonwealth as a faction. You have the Soviet bloc, Soviets. Then you have the Axis, which represents, you know, fractions of Italy, Hungary, typically those Axis-aligned nations. And then Imperial Japan, probably... I think in when the next book comes out, I think Imperial Japan will be the Empire of Japan will be the best faction. People just want it. The new minis that were teased look really good. But just to get you like an idea, I think so you have the Empire of Japan being the melee faction, where they have a lot of gimmicks, where they've developed their own rift technology, where they can slip into rift dimension and pop out in different places. So they'll do that on the board with their ghost warriors, where they can just literally teleport away from trouble, or after they execute a fire order, they just disappear into the shadows. They're your melee faction, but more of the blade melee faction, a little bit harder to pilot, but very, very, very lethal. Actually a very good army to fight the zombies, because it's all close quarters, and then those guys are close quarters. So my buddy, just the typical Japanese infantryman, beat up a horde of zombies.
Uh,
I've seen it. So I like the Japanese. I think the Japanese are gonna. be probably 2, the second greatest faction in the game in a couple months. The greatest faction, I think, is the Axis as a biased player. But you have your advanced technologies. You got your monster mash with them. You got werewolves. You got genetically modified bat-human hybrids. Then you got your jump troopers, just like the U.S. You got your heavy reinforced armor infantry. Then you got gravity weapons. Axis is kind of, you have a tool for everything. You can't go wrong with them. And except when you're going up against the Soviets, because I've not won a game against the Soviets since the game's come out. So my best friend, he plays them. So the Soviets are your melee faction, but they're the hammer melee faction, where the Japanese were a little bit more finesse. Now this is
sure.
Clobbing you over the head multiple times until you win. So yeah, the Soviets are great. They use a lot of sonic technology. They have genetically modified soldiers that are now giant bears. Yeah,
of course.
And new plastic kits for the Ursus infantry is coming in June. So I know that was something that people are really looking forward to. And they're a really strong unit in game. People are really going to like that. British Commonwealth, they've developed their Rift technology into artificial intelligence. So their bread and butter is robots. So you got automated infantry also coming to plastic in June. That's going to be a big hit for pretty much anyone who just wants to get into a weird war game, because you got these thin automated infantry with the Tommy helmets and big machine guns. And they can't get pinned like you do with other units. They just do what you say. It's really cool. And they're getting their plastic kits coming out in June with the Soviet Bears. And then the US, you got a problem, more gun. They just got lots of guns. So yeah, it's true to reality on that one. They jump around. Right. Yeah, they got their little Captain America units in the Paragon infantry. I hope that's a plastic kit soon, because I think that would get me to finally just, okay, fine, I'm playing the US now. So, but yeah, I mean, all main factions are great.
So let's talk about the lore a little bit, since some people may not be familiar with the backstory. You're talking a lot about Rift technology, like what's going on with this Rift? Where are people going? Where are they coming out of? And how are they controlling it? And why 1947?
Yeah, I mean, so it's pretty much the same war, except some different happenings in the background. So there's this new kind of secret organization pulling strings in the background, but it's pretty similar to our timeline up until 1944, where the U.S. has developed the atomic bomb through the Manhattan Project. And when they tested that in Los Alamos, the bomb went off. They considered it a success, but there was a side effect. A rift opened up, and through that rift, technologies were being whispered. There was weird energy. Some weird stuff happened, and last I checked, I don't think that happened in our timeline. So that's where the deviation really occurs. And instead of both atomic bombs going towards the Japanese homeland, you had one going to Dresden to make the Germans surrender, and then you had the other one on its way to Iwo Jima, which disappeared. So something happened to that one. Do the Japanese have their own rift somewhere hidden in Iwo Jima? We don't know yet. I hope so, because that's going to be some cool stuff for them. And then the Germans, well, they wanted the bomb dropped on Dresden because they wanted their own rift. And that secret organization is pretty much leading the Axis now. So they got rid of the Third Reich. These guys stepped in, and now they have a rift where they're pretty much experimenting on anything that they can get their hands on. So that's where you get your genetic manipulation for, werewolves, the bears, the Soviets. They stole it. The Soviets don't have their own rift, but they have an amazing spy network. So all these guys go and they steal all this rift technology and they reverse engineer it back in the Soviet Union. And that's how the Soviets have it. So that's what one of the first sections in this book is the Soviets trying to make a rush for Dresden to get to that rift. But they make a great push up through Hungary. But then they hit the outskirts of Dresden, and they get hit by a tidal wave of reanimated corpses that used to live in Dresden. And that's what exactly has happened when exposed to too much rift energy. Corpses don't stay corpses, or at least they don't stay still. So the Axis has harnessed that power. And yeah, it's pretty much the ultimate defense. They can't take the city. So yeah, it's great. You could go as weird and wacky as you want. You could go as grim dark as you want with it. It's a great timeline, and the people just have so much creative freedom in being able to make an army theirs. And it doesn't come down to, just like, oh, I want to play the British or I want to play the Canadians. I want to paint my Canadians in, hot pink where they, or, in pink colors where they painted like the SAS Jeeps in North Africa to help camouflage. So it's like, oh, you don't even need that lore. You can just paint it pink if you wanted to. That's just the primer that they used out of that factory for the automated infantry. So yeah, it's a great system. It's fun. It's built on bolt action, 3rd edition. So if you play that, you can play this. And pretty much where bolt action is like you got to follow the rules. Konflikt 47 takes the guardrails away. It just breaks that, and you could just do insane things in the game. And it's one of those situations like everything's overpowered, so nothing is.
And so since it's based on bolt action, when did it come out? How many SKU, like what's your release schedule on the products, and how do you balance the factions when you're trying to keep the game obviously somewhat even, or maybe you're not?
I nerf the Soviets. That's my
right.
But yeah, so the game launched. Bolt Action 3rd Edition came out in September of 2024, I believe. So 2 years ago, we had that year span where 3rd Edition was out. We've released the core army books for majority of the major nations for Bolt Action. So Germany, U.S., Great Britain, Soviet Union. Those guys were all tended to, and that's when they knew that the bones of this bolt action system worked. So that's how they knew to put Konflikt 47, and they were developing it in tandem to make sure it has the same system. So it does have that great transition when you're playing between the two games. And it pretty much September 2025, we launched the new edition of Konflikt 47. However, previously with Clockwork Goblin, we had the previous edition that worked on the first edition of bolt action. So it was a bit, there was a lot going on there, but we had existing miniatures and metal and resin. And a lot of our plastic tanks had resin upgrade turrets for the weird weapons. And we already had those existing sculpts for a lot of those classic monsters. But when we relaunched Konflikt 47 in September, it came with a plastic starter set. So a plastic infantry unit for the US, a plastic infantry unit for the Axis, and a plastic walker for each. And that was pretty much the foundation of we're going to switch as much to plastic as we can. It won't stop how Warlord operates with, we have our own Silecast product with Warlord resin, traditional resin, and metal miniatures. So we still offer those options for certain releases. But we have that big bolt, the Konflikt 47 roadmap that shows up the plastic releases. It's like 14, 15, 16 plastic releases by the end of the year. So with Festung Europa, it was the new plastic walker, the new Toten Core, brings it up to 6 total plastics since September. And then in June is an additional 6 plastic kits added. So it literally doubles our plastic range by June. And then obviously bolt action at the same time is happening in the background, where we have the Armies of Japan that was released in January. This month in April is Armies of Italy, which Italy is now its own standalone. It's got its own book as opposed to being in Italy and the minor Axis nations. So a lot of people are excited about that one. They're getting a new plastic kit, new sets of infantry for them. And then France will get the same treatment the next quarter. I'm sorry, it would be the Commonwealth, I think, during the summer, which will be Canada, New Zealand, Australia, the African, British Africa, South Africa, and then India. So it's like 6 armies lists in one book. So I expect my Canadian customers to pick that one up.
Okay. So what's next as far as do you have what's the next big event on the horizon?
A big event. That's a good question. We do have a lot of localized events going on. I do have to probably check the XP Network calendar to see what's coming up next. But I know locally we have in 2 weeks I have another like here in Cincinnati. I'm from out of Ohio. There's an event going on, and then a month after that in April there should be or actually it is April already. Isn't that horrifying? But later this month there'll be another larger event locally here. So I do have to double check and see what the next big event overall would be.
Okay. Well, I got a question for you from our audience. A question from Meyer C. Next year, can you please schedule the Warlords preview event that it doesn't conflict with the Bolt Action or Konflikt 47 tournaments?
Got it. Yeah, I think what that was in regards to Peter Gosling, our head of product, was at Adepticon. So a lot of people got to pick the brain of the guy who's behind Konflikt 47 right now. And there was a closed door preview for souls luckier than I to see what's coming out later this year. And I think there were some tournaments that went on past that. So yeah, definitely we noted that.
Okay. All right. And we got another question from Jay Ashley. Are you excited for B for Birdie, the best boy? Excuse me, the best bot boy.
The best bot boy? That would be the first playable Commonwealth hero that's coming out. He's one of the plastic kits, one of the 6 plastic kits for the British Commonwealth in June. From what I hear, he's got a lot of luck. So I think he'll be a very fun unit. Characters are characters in this game. That's what they never surrender. They don't go down without a fight. And you kind of get attached to them, except the Soviet one. That guy, Gregor Drugov. Yeah. I complained to HQ, please destroy the mold of that model. I never want to see him again. So.
All right. And another question from Jay Ashley. Will there be a Konflikt 47 and Bolt Action at Origins in Columbus this June? I think they meant some kind of tournament, some official organized play.
Yeah, there should be. Actually, I think Origins is the next one in Columbus, Ohio. Funny enough, that's why I was thinking Ohio. There's something in Ohio. There will be. Yep. So there should be historical tournaments going on there. Definitely will be done with XP Network. So we'll have that in the calendar so people can register and see that advertised soon enough.
Great. Okay. And I just want to remind everybody in the audience to, if you have not scanned the QR code to get your 500 Warlord XP points, please do so. Do you, I think you had some other things to show, some perhaps, do we have some website that you wanted to show some people?
Yeah, that was the community article that went out earlier this week, showing of what's next for Konflikt 47 after Adepticon. And there's a great image of the display table with the big giant Sturmriese mech walker. That thing is one of the scenarios in the book. People recognize it from a lot of the photographs and advertising from the original September launch. Well, there's a scenario in this book for the U.S. and the Commonwealth to take it down, and that thing's massive. But yeah, that table, I got a lot of compliments from customers that stopped by and said that was the best display table that they saw at Adepticon. So, I said thank you. I had anything to do with it, but I really did appreciate people just going out of their way to let me know that, the effort put in by the team was noticed. So. And then later in that article, if you scroll down, it's the silhouettes that are that they were teasing for the characters. So it shows like the new Japanese silhouettes for the infantry that's coming out. There's definitely interesting looking Japanese walker, which I can't wait to paint that. And then the third one, it's a silhouette. I can only tell you so much because I only see so much. And then I'm pretty sure the last one, nobody's told me, but looking at the artwork, I'm pretty sure that's a new Drugov model. So not only did they not destroy it, I think they're making a new sculpt of him. So
that's going to cause you some pain later.
Oh, he's already causing me pain now. So he's a very strong unit. I don't like to cater my army to fight one single dude, but I think I might out of spite now. So
okay. So tell me, what was perhaps like your favorite experience with Konflikt 47 this year, whether it be some encounter with a fan or a designer or some customer?
Yeah, I mean,
Something
yeah, customers. I deal with stores all day. It's what I do, and the feedback has been absolutely phenomenal. Uh, the fact, so like one of the formats that I do for stores is I give them a demo kit, I give them some extra sprues, and I encourage, if you have somebody that sits down and plays a demo, they walk away with a sprue and they walk away with their own little first squad for Konflikt 47. And there's a store actually here in Ohio as well. He was doing that, and he's got these 6 kids from the local high school that just stopped by, played it. They got their first sprues, and he's been picking up all the new releases. He's been telling me how things are going. They come in once a week to play and to paint. And it's, they're building up a slow force. So it's like, I think they're at 300 points each. And they're slow growing it, but they never were in the hobby before. Konflikt 47 piqued that interest for them, and they've been playing. That's the one that just came to mind immediately. So I'm happy that's happening.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, you never know when in this industry you touch somebody, some fan, some family, and you lay that seed, and that's could grow into a lifetime hobby, a lifetime career, or whatever the case may be. Is there any last things that you'd like to say? We're about up on the time here. Believe it or not.
Yeah, that went by fast. No, I mean, just constant new releases this year for everybody. I mean, bolt action crowd's going to be catered to. Konflikt 47. People know that we have a 3-year life, like locked in plan. Plus, like I think it's like 5 years that they have in prospects and all that. It's crazy. This is something that Warlord's taken incredibly serious, and it shows through the people's commitment to the new game, where they see that, hey, these are the new products, we're keeping the game alive, and that the game is just absolutely dominating right now, and it's just fun. I think that's the best part. It's just fun. If the game's not fun, why play it, right? So
exactly.
Yep. And same thing with bolt action. Once, we're done with the big 5 nations, we have Italy, Commonwealth, and the French getting their own books this year. My personal favorite will be armies of minor nations for the Axis and the Allies. I play Romania, so it's like, I gotta wait.
I was just thinking Romania, right? Yes.
Yeah. Here's a fun thing. I just got this imported from Romania. It is firsthand accounts, all in Romanian, so I got to brush up on my Romanian. Firsthand accounts of the defense of northern Stalingrad right before the Soviets attacked through Operation Uranus and all that. It was crazy. So these are firsthand accounts of soldiers that survived that. So yeah, I'm a huge. I will go out of my way to bring Romania up during the war in anything like I did now. So.
Right. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us talking about Warlord. And we're very happy to have Warlord Games be part of the XP network. And to everybody that watched the show, thanks for watching. And we're going to be here next week, same time, and for another live stream. And until then, XP Network and Warlord Games signing off, and see you next time. Bye-bye.